Welcome to the X Corner. I'm still here adding some mutation to that superhero crew. I'll be covering the X comics for the week of July 18th, 2018. This week we have 4 comics. Cable 159, Hunt for Wolverine, Claws of a Killer number 3, XMen Gold number 32, and XMen Red number 6. Spoilers, of course. We'll start with Cable 159. The writers are Lonnie Nadler and Zach Thompson, and the penciler is Jermaine Peralta. This is the final issue of the current Cable run, and we get a wrap up to that meta story. Almost this entire issue is a flashback to Cable growing up with Cyclops and Jean Grey, who were in disguise as Slim and Red. He is hanging out with friends, but he overhears his parents arguing that he might lose control and hurt somebody, so he can't have any friends. As any young kid would do, he runs away into the forest. He is either actually attacked or imagines he is attacked by a techno-organic creature, which makes his arm go all Akira, and he accidentally hits one of his friends named Metis and infects him with the virus. Cable tries to help Metis, but he runs off. The boy tries to go to his parents, but they only see a monster. He then runs away, vowing to destroy everything Cable loves. We then find ourselves in the present as Cable and Hope confront Metis, who is now a monster. Cable draws the virus out of him, and with Hope's help, he purges it from himself. The boy is freed of the virus, but is the same age as when he was infected. Cable then brings him to the X-Mansion to be looked after, to give him a new home and family. Then we have an extermination page with Cable getting a warning of a timeline anomaly. They then spring up everywhere, and his computer warns of a total timeline stability breakdown. Hopefully you'll see Metis in the future stories, even in the background. I love when they seed things like this. I really like this storyline, and even though the end seems rushed to make way for extermination, it wrapped up sufficiently. Nadler and Thompson really got the feeling of a kid in Cable as he ran away and even lied to his parents about the guilt of infecting Metis. I enjoyed this storyline much more than the whole rest of the series, so of course they cancelled the book. My nemesis, Ed Brisson, seems to be writing Extermination, which doesn't bode well for that. We'll have to see. I'll give this wrap-up issue a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't spectacular, but for Cable it was pretty good. Then there is Hunt for Wolverine, Claws of a Killer number 3. The writers Mariko Tamaki, and the pencilers Mac Chatter and Butch Geese. Dakin had just jumped out of a window to escape an explosion, and now finds himself surrounded by zombies. He runs off to find Deathstrike and Sabretooth. He jumps on a roof and then falls through right on top of them. He lets them know what's going on, and the 3 hatch a plan to destroy the device making the zombies and screwing up their healing factors, before the town is wiped off the planet from a bomb. Outside, the military men show up to capture Dakin. The 3 fight their way out, but Deathstrike thinks one of the soldiers is her dead father, and Sabretooth sees of one of them as his son. Deathstrike and Dakin are taken out, and Sabretooth grabs Dakin and runs. Dakin passes out, and Sabretooth is confronted by the soldier who may or may not be his son. This issue went by really quickly. The art most times was great, but other times bad, which was probably due to the 2 artists. Butch Geese is amazing, but Chatter aping his style really falls flat. Saying that, overall this one was pretty great looking, as the 3 fought zombies and military guys all over the place. Still not a fan of the overly macho dialogue and the whole zombie concept, but with one more issue maybe we'll get some answers. 7 out of 10 for the art. Then we have XMen Gold 32. The writers Mark Guggenheim and the pencilers Pere Perez. This issue get the other side of the last issue from the rest of the X-Men's point of view. Rachel is going nuts, taking everyone out. Iceman and Pyro confront her. Scott talks her down until she is able to throw off Mesmero's influence. She is back to normal, at least for now, as she stands over all her friends she just knocked out. As this was the exact same story as last issue, I should just play the review from last time. Guggenheim is smart. He got paid twice for the exact same story. There were some good parts, and some odd ones. Pyro and Iceman hooking up was odd, since it came out of nowhere. Storm and Ilyana talking was nice, as it harkens back to their relationship way back when Ilyana became magic. Storm calling Stormcaster was awesome. Also seeing Rachel take out Storm, Psylocke, and Armor with her mind was surprising, especially Psylocke. In the end, I guess it was Mesmero to actually blame, so Cassandra Nova is still in there somewhere. I think Guggenheim and Tom Taylor should have had a chat about that. They're really pressing that Prestige name on Rachel too. Doesn't make sense, and just like I refuse to call Gabby Honey Badger in any serious way, I will never call Rachel Prestige. Well, unless she starts cloning herself to pull off some magic tricks. Then she will have earned the name. Anyway, this one gets a 7 out of 10 for just recapping the last one. Still good though. Not sure where this goes now, but I'll keep reading. Lastly, we have X-Men Red number 6. The writer's Tom Taylor and the penciler's Mahmoud Asrar, with Carmen Carnero? I don't know. So there's a lot going on here, so we'll just try and get through it coherently. We'll start off with Cassandra Nova quoting Nelson Mandela. Okay, that was a weird choice. Then we find out Gentle's mom was a raging racist, and that's why it hurts for him to use his powers. Okay, I guess. Jean just cures him of that, so that's all gone anyways. Jean then reveals she's building an underwater Cerebro, which Gabby names Cerebro, which will amplify her powers to find out who is behind all this. She has Gambit assemble a team to steal a cell phone that will clear her name in the killing of the British diplomat. Jean then uses Cerebro and discovers Cassandra Nova is behind it all. Nova expected this, and she says pointedly that no one cares about the truth, and that she'll make sure mutants are hated. She then drops some Hulk-like mutant onto Atlantis to destroy it. This comic was all over the place. Cassandra Nova quoting, even wrongly, Mandela, while discussing her getting strangled in the womb by a very Patrick Stewart-looking baby, was bordering on offensive. Having Gentle's mom beat him for being a mutant, even when he wanted to defend her from her husband, who wasn't his dad it seems, was disturbing. And then we get some lighthearted fun with the X-Men. What a weird tonal shift. Gabby insisting on calling the device Cerebro was super funny. Also fueling my Gabby X-23 love was Laura telling Gabby to listen to everything Gambit has to say so that she could be better at stealing stuff, which was very cute. Nightcrawler having a full beard out of nowhere was weird. I guess he has to shave every day or that happens. I will say at least Jean didn't shift between 10 different facial styles through this issue for once. A lot of this issue could have been cut and it would have been much better. I really like Cassandra Nova, but you don't need to make her more evil. She's already at max evil. Trinary is sadly getting to be a get-out-of-jail-free card. Every time they seem to run into an obstacle, she just solves it instantly. Writers recently have fallen in love with their creations a bit much. The editors should be there to stomp that out, but we know that Marvel editors are nearly non-existent. They proofread sometimes, but God forbid they actually exert some editorial control, so as not to lose coherence in the universe. But enough ranting. This one is a 7 out of 10, even with the tone shifting from one realm to another. I like the story, I just don't really like how it's going about getting there. So another week in the can. Next week's a long one, 6 books, and I'm even skipping some. We'll talk more about that next week though. See you there, in the future. Hopefully it won't have maybe a real techno-organic monster, or mutant hunting sentinels. Bye-bye.